Hello, my good people. Trust the Lord has been with you. Trust He has preserved you. And I welcome you back to my YouTube channel, which is NYAWIRA'S Diary. And today we are discussing yet another life-related topic, which is grief and loss. Please, I request of you, if you're new here, please subscribe, share, and even comment. Thank you for the response you've given me. So far, so good. Thank you for those people that we've talked over the phone, we've talked in my DM. May the Lord bless you. And may the Lord give you back your happiness, all to the glory and honor of His name. And I want us to understand what is grief. And a simple explanation of the word grief is a natural response to loss. So what is loss? What is grief? It's an emotional suffering you feel when you have lost somebody or something that you really valued. And we have different kinds of losses. We can either lose somebody in a relationship, we can lose a business, either through fire, through theft. We can lose relationships through divorce, breakups. We can lose family members through death. We can lose partners through death. We can lose, friends, colleagues through death. So there are various types of, various kinds of losses. And I want us to understand the stages we have of grief. And the first stage we have in grief, when you're grieving, when you have lost something, when you have lost someone, one of the stage that you get into is denial. So you refuse to face you refuse to face the situation head on. Whatever has happened, that spouse has died, that spouse has left you, that boyfriend has rejected you and married somebody else. So you get into a period of denial. So you're still in that process of this person will come back. So maybe they were just angry, they'll still return. So you're just there waiting for them to have a comeback and for them to return to you. If it's about business, this business got burned down, this business collapsed, but you're still there waiting for it to revive without making any efforts. So you first enter into a stage of denial, which is that's the initial stage. And the other stage you get into is anger. So you get bitter, you get agitated over something very small, over even issues that don't even deserve your reactions. You react so badly, even the people that are around you are not even able to relate with you. That bitterness, that anger is something you should work on. But we are first going to know the stages, and then we'll get to how can we overcome. And then we have another one, which is bargaining. You're in a state where if it's like a spouse or a partner who left you, you say, if only I did this person would not have divorced me. If only I did this business would not have collapsed. If only I did this, my boss would not have fired me. If only I did this, those you're still bargaining, like if I did this, if I did the other, this would have salvaged the situation. But it's always good to face it head on. It happened. Then what next? And after this, you will enter into a stage of depression. And if you can refer to what we talked earlier on, which was on mental illness and mental health, I've really emphasized on depression, because depression goes hand in hand with those emotions that run through our minds, which are triggered by so many issues. So grief and loss can be one of those issues that trigger depression. So when you enter that state of depression, it's also a stage of grieving, but it's a dangerous one. So when you get to the stage of depression, it's always good to look out to people, talk to people, for you to air out what is bugging you down. And then we have the last stage, which is acceptance. So now you've already waited maybe like for a year. This person is not coming back, they died, or they left you and remarried, or this business collapsed, you were still waiting that you would salvage it, nothing has happened. Whatever time it's taken you to accept, it's all dependent on a personal case. And the minute you accept, that is when you start a journey towards your healing. And the healing process, it's more or less of the same with the mental illness issue, because it will emphasize you on making sure that you're in positive vibes only. You don't engage in people that will give you anything negative, anything unproductive. Make sure that you engage in positivity. Be positive about life. Fine, this person has died. Life must move on. You've lost this child. They have gone. Life has to move on. You've lost your husband. You've lost your wife. You've lost a spouse who left you maybe on the day of your wedding day and got married to somebody else. Life has to move on regardless of what has happened. So it's always good to pick up those broken pieces and move on. But of course, we said the word of God will always help us to pick up these pieces. And as usual, I'll read from the book of Psalms, chapter 147 and verse 3. And the Bible tells us that he heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. That's the Lord saying this. Today we are going to read 2 Bible verses. So our next one is in Psalms chapter 73, verses 26. And it says, "My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is my strength. God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever." So the word of God tells us he is our strength, he is our portion. And it doesn't matter what we are going through. It doesn't matter who we have lost. At times, maybe it's the breadwinner of the family. At times, we are left in situations that we don't even know how to start up. We don't know how to pick up those broken pieces and move on. But the Lord is there with us. If only we can learn to trust him. If only we can keep our hope and trust in him. God is always faithful. God is always faithful to deliver us from these depressive states, from these ulcers, from these, every medical situation that we are going through, which could be left by loss, by mental illness. God is faithful to deliver us from these status. And maybe you could be there going through something and you're afraid to talk to someone. Kindly talk to me, inbox me, call me. I'll respond to you. Let's talk. Let's share. Don't think of committing suicide as the last option after what you have gone through. There's always someone who is willing to listen to you. If I cannot talk to you, I can always refer you to someone else who can talk to you. And all for the glory of God. And all for us to be helped. At the end of the day, what we are looking for is peace, happiness. May God restore these in our minds. May God restore these in our souls. Because when we are happy, when we have peace of mind, you will only think of the best for even those ones who are surrounding you. You'll never think of harming them. You'll never think of doing anything bad to these people. May God bless you.